Hello, hello, hello. Look at that. We look like twins this week.
That's right. We're twins.
We are twins.
Didn't even call ahead.
Do you know what? Do you know what? By pure coincidence, not only we're dressed the same, our lighting seems to be the same. We've got the same, but we're merging into the same person. We have.
So I either have to grow hair or you have to lose some. So
yeah. Oh, don't say that. Oh, cool. How is everything in the world of gym?
Well, as everybody knows, I missed last week. I was terribly sick, in bed for a week, not in a good way, as I told you. I gotta be careful of making jokes before we air, because, if anybody watched that episode a couple weeks ago,
that was brilliant.
Like such an ass.
Do you know what? It was interesting because we were both tired. And on that show, you could tell. But I also think it's also interesting. There's an old comedian friend. I said old comedian friend of mine. He's an old comedian, but part of his routine was he would tell a joke, and then he'd go tell two more jokes, and then he'd tell the same joke but with a different punchline. And it would always catch people and kind of go, you thought I'd lost it then, didn't you? Because he was really old. And it reminded me of that.
The look on your face was, should have been enough. When you just, I'm going, Grant laughed a lot harder last time. And I was like, wait, he shouldn't be laughing twice. Why? What happened? But I'm doing better. I was sick last week, had some gastritis. You guys know what that is? Inflammation of the stomach. I was in bed for a week and finally feeling a little bit better. Today I'm representing the Michigan Conference. Look at that.
Whoop, whoop. That's great. That's not long now. I believe have they still got a presenter spot available? I saw a post for that earlier.
Yeah, one opened up.
Awesome. That is good. And that is going to be a great conference. I really enjoyed that last year.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah. Make sure we share this. Make sure people are watching. That's not going to work. Yeah, so did I. Hold on.
Oh, there we go. So whilst Jim's showing that, during tonight's show, we're mixing up a little bit. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, a couple of our groups, as well as Amazon Live as well. So we'll be talking about some of the stuff that helps us as hypnotherapists. There we go. It's not quite matching red shirts, white backgrounds. You guys are really working on the branding thing, huh? Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Right.
We do our best.
It's so weird. We have neither of us, I don't think, have ever worn red on the show before. No. And boom, today we're both wearing red.
It's
crazy.
It's that psychic connection.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're going to introduce an element to the show where we talk about products and books that help us as professionals, as hypnotists, as hypnotherapists, as stage hypnotists, all that type of stuff. So I've managed to get some this week. Jim will be bringing some next week as well. But we're going to talk about the first book, and it does relate to some of the stuff as well. And I think this is a great book. And this one. It's Magic Words in Hypnosis by Richard Nongard. Have you read this one, Jim?
I haven't read that one. No.
It's a great one. It's an easy read. Lots of short kind of paragraphs and little scripts and inductions and stuff in there. And it's, a lot of it is, there's a great paragraph in the end when it talks about, like, when you're delivering those suggestions, don't just deliver them like I think they describe it like a psychic or a medium would do, where it's like, in the future, you will never eat bad food again. And it talks about making sure your suggestions are framed right. And in that, the next time you encounter a all-you-can-eat buffet, you'll find that you no longer choose to eat food. So it talks about phrasing the suggestions right, which I think is really good. So the hypnotherapists that are struggling to create their own metaphors and stories for suggestive change, that, I believe, is a great book for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a quick link on the screen there for its Magic Words, the source book of hypnosis, patter, script, and how to overcome hypnotic difficulties. I do think it's good to have some tools in your toolbox. I'm not a fan of scriptnosis, as they talk about it, but I do think having books of scripts is a great way of learning metaphors by picking different things up. So, what about you, Jim?
You know, I mean, it's Richard Nongard. You can't go wrong, right? I mean, the guy's prolific. He's created so much stuff, and he's got so many books out. I've got a couple of his books here. I'll be talking about in the future. Yeah, you know what? So here's my take on this too. Is I think that even those of us that don't use scripts, we have at some point read scripts, and we oftentimes we just have them memorized. Parts of big chunks of scripts memorized. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
You know, certain things.
I think that's it. You pick up all these different bits from different places, and like you said, you memorize all of them. And then when it comes time to using your intuition, it just means you've just got more stuff memorized that you can turn to, that you can then deliver at the right moment for that person. So if you've only got one script, you're very, very limited into how you can help people. The more scripts or stories or metaphors or whatever it is you've got in there, the more of them you've got, the more chance you've got of finding something that's going to be a right fit. So, absolutely. Yeah, which leads us on to the first conference we're going to talk about. We'll just talk about this as well. And Richard Nongard, is it his conference? I know he's at this conference.
I believe he I don't know how this works, but bought it or maybe took it over from Karen Hand, who had it for a couple of decades. I think that's what I heard. But yeah, he seems to be running that now. Yeah, he's the one. He's the one that said, "Jim, we'd like you to come and present." When I said, you know, here's my proposal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Claudia Ricard says, I agree. Claudia, great for joining us as well. And do you know what? Absolute highlight from the conference in where have we just been?
Heartland
was meeting Claudia. What a absolutely amazing sense of humor, and what a wonderful person as well. It's always nice when you come away from a conference with like lifelong memories that are always going to make you smile. And there was at least 3 from Heartlands that made me chuckle, and still do to this day.
Nice.
One of the great things about this conference, I was just looking at the lineup, and I mean, it looks amazing. Keynotes Dan Candell. Saturday night, Michael Johns will be doing the hypnosis show at this. That makes me a little bit jealous. I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, I should have put in a speaker proposal for this. And I didn't. So that is me missing out on an opportunity. Michael is a big hypno hero of mine, after you, obviously, Jim. An absolute legend in the industry and such a great performer. I actually have a skit that was wrote for me by Michael for my birthday, which is it's a great routine, great comedy writer as well. And so, yeah, I mean, Michael Johns is pedigree within the industry is unbelievable. So that's going to be a great night. So yeah, I won't be there, unfortunately. Claudia is speaking at Mid-America as well. It seems like everybody's there apart from me.
All the cool people.
It literally is all the cool people. When you look at the lineup, everybody is there. So yeah, never mind. I'm going to sneeze now. There we go.
What are you speaking on, Claudia? Tell everybody what you're speaking on. You know, I can't wait to see Michael. I saw him, God, I want to say a decade ago, out in Scottsdale before I even knew who he was. So it'll be great to see him. And really, what a nice guy. I've only met him once, talked to him once. What a nice guy, great guy. And like you said, pedigree in the industry. Everyone talks highly of him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Claudia says, "Bless you." Thank you, Claudia. Is Claudia? Are you going to be at Hypno Thoughts as well? I believe she is.
I believe she is. Yeah.
That's
right. She's making the rounds now.
Yeah,
making the rounds.
Yeah, I think you've got to do it. You've got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of stuff as well, let's just put up a quick plug for Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. This is, I think, a staple for every entrepreneur. Should have this on their bookshelf or somewhere. It's a book that I've read 2 or 3 times now. I think this and The Magic of Thinking Big are my 2 absolute favorites when it's out there. Claudia says, yes, I'm getting about. Absolutely, Claudia. It's the best way. Made round to go around. So they say.
You Brits, the way you turn a phrase.
Yeah. I was on a conference call earlier with some hypnotists that are doing a really exciting project that I'm not allowed to talk about just yet, but it is a really exciting project. And I was kind of like, oh, that really adds some gravitas to it. And they're like, what? I'm like, gravitas. And they're like, you and your English words. Let's see, I think Think and Grow Rich, a great book for kind of good for when you're wanting that extra bit of motivation as well. So I think it really does help.
Yeah, it's always and really it's the one that's if you haven't read it, I mean, you have to read it. Everybody's read it. I love it. I've gotten connected with some really awesome clients. I'm working with these clients that where you go, why are you even seeing me? You seem like, I mean, we're talking like 30 grand a month, real estate sales type stuff, and just killing it. I mean, doing all the right things, taking 6-week vacations, working out, all these things, but they're like, no, but I still want to be better than that. And across the board, everybody talks about this book. Everybody talks about this book.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Great thing that you said about seeing the clients. I've just recently started seeing like an accountability coach. I'm becoming an accountability coach for an entrepreneur friend of mine, and it's really interesting because he knows exactly what he needs to do. He knows it. Yeah. He's in the industry. He knows exactly what he needs to do, but he needs someone to just make him accountable. That once a week to check in with him and go, right, here's what you said you were going to do this week. Where are you at with that? And if those goals aren't achieved, then there has to be a punishment. There is a fine in place of varying scales. And it's quite interesting because there's so much help I get from myself by helping him, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, do you know what? There's something about that accountability that just makes a difference. I know what I need to do. We all know what we need to do. But sometimes we need someone to hold us accountable for that. So
yeah. What a treat that is, and what a gift that is, because then you have that same accountability right back, because you're like, I should be doing the same damn thing. So yeah, I got to get on it.
Mm-hmm. The Performing Hypnosis Summit, February.
Yes,
I'm excited about this. Got a little advert for it there.
Yes, you and I need to have a chat about that sometime, maybe next week or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get things rolling.
Yeah.
Then meet with the team, and we need to get that stuff figured out. It's exciting. First weekend of February next year
in sunny Las Vegas.
Yes, exactly.
Should be good.
We both get a break. We both get a break from the rain.
Absolutely. I must admit, it's weather-wise, it's just right here in the UK at the moment.
Here too.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everybody that is going. So, performinghypnosissummit.com is, of course, the website. We haven't updated it yet because we still have some stuff to figure out. But we've got both versions, where you've got the online version and we've got the in-person version. And it's the hybrid version is going to be just fantastic. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I think it's the right time of the year as well. It's the quiet time for a lot of us performers.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's a great time to kind of get together, have that networking, and really do. I must admit, it's over this last couple of years that collaboration that's coming forward with a lot of us stage guys is really, really, it's really positive. It's a really good thing, and it could only help the industry get better. So to just play a small part in that is a great honor.
Exactly. And like you said, what is so great about this is we are just playing this small part. We're just facilitating this fantastic event with, just amazing people in the industry.
Yeah. And it's specializing on the performance side of things as well. So, it's open to hypnotherapists, and I believe lots of hypnotherapists will benefit from being there as well. But this is about the razzle dazzle, the smoke and mirrors, the little extra bits that make a performance something special. So that makes it sound a bit like an advert, which it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is one of the best conferences that you could possibly attend in 2023. Four. Yeah.
Cool. Speaking of brilliant conferences, Hypno Thoughts, it is just around the corner.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we're talking weeks away now, right?
Weeks. It's less than a month. Just less than a month.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna pack a bag.
You get to come back and you get to come back over and smell freedom again. See what that's like.
Yeah. Come over and see what democracy smells like.
drive big Ford trucks and
exactly.
muscle cars.
Yeah. I might get like a really tiny car this time. Do you know, it's one of the great things about traveling for conferences is you get to not just go to the conference, but you do to experience different places as well. So I always try and make it a memorable trip. So even though it's work, you know, I try and make it a fun excursion as well. So, but excellent. I think my accountant reminds me every time, like, well, why have you spent so much on fuel? Like, isn't fuel cheap in America? I'm like, yeah, no, but I needed a truck. So you end up working for nothing. But hey ho,
yeah,
it's only money, Jim. So yeah, a great tool again, because we are on Amazon Live. A great tool that I've just got this week is my new Deep Purple iPhone 14 Pro. I chose this one for a very particular reason. The camera on it is amazing, and it enables for whatever. I mean, you do it, and you do it very well now. The camera quality on these for when you're recording shows, skits, routines, testimonials. If you're working with a client and they want to give you a testimonial, to have something of this quality that can record that straight away is absolutely fantastic. And again, great for shows. Do you still have your cat phone holder?
Yes, of course. Come on now. Of course I do.
There we go. Legendary. That should be the official merch of Jim Cowner.
It should be right there.
Yeah.
I keep thinking I'm going to buy a new one, but I think I'm going to get a new phone before. I might get the 14, or I might wait for the 15. I'm not sure.
Well, that's it. I was waiting a while. The problem I have with iPhones, and this, you know me, Jim, I'm a tech guy.
You are the tech guy.
So this is like my old iPhone. I think this is an 8 or a 10. This is the 12.
Yeah.
And this is the 14. Now, why have I still got all three of them? Well, the reason is I've got like the two-factor authentication set up. So I keep trying to change it from my cryptocurrency wallet, but it won't change. So it always goes back to this particular phone here. So I have to keep that phone, and the same with the other ones. So it's always quite interesting when that happens. And I've lost Jim. So I'll continue to waffle on until Jim comes back in. So yes, another great thing, Hypno Thoughts, I'm doing a talk, Jim's doing a talk, we're both doing a thing together. Come and find us as well. We will be networking and spreading ourselves around. Do come and find us. We will be having some fun, as we always do. There he is back. Was it something I said, Jim?
Yeah. Oh, I've got double going on. Hold on, get rid of this one, I guess. Oh, there it is. Wait, which one? Uh-oh. I don't know which one to get rid of.
I don't know. Well, you're all good on my end, so there we go. There we go. Claudia says he's got phone envy and ditched it, and he's got again. Yeah, I think that's what it is, Claudia. I went for the Deep Purple one as well, so which is quite nice. So yeah, but it's the camera quality is great for recording. Again, Claudia, for when you're doing the talks, when you're doing the conferences, great to set your phone up on a little kind of tripod stand and kind of get into that as well. Some of that I like to use with mine are these, which is the Rode Wireless Goes, which you connect these to your phone and you get really good quality audio to your iPhone as well. So it gives it a professional quality. You've got the Wireless Goes as well, haven't you, Jim?
I do, but my package looks different.
Hey.
Let me see your package because it looks different. You got a little little square one. Mine's a long rectangle one.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's the width that's important, apparently. It's not so much the length. So
that's what I've heard.
So yeah, it's a great microphone for recording talks, and we both used this one at our recent talk at the Heartland Conference. Yeah. So again, it's great for getting that good quality audio of the talks that you do as well.
I'm loving those Rhodes, man. I can use them on the road, literally. So like I oftentimes would have to, I'm not going to drag along my Yeti, and because it's kind of heavy. And the AirPods, I use this for the hearing, but not for the talking part, the speaker. Anyway, whatever. And, but I found that if I use the Rhodes, I mean, it's magnificent. They're lightweight. They just work great.
Yeah. Claudia says, "I'll see your purple one in Vegas," and then she quickly followed that up with phone. There we go. That's the British sense of humour there.
Siri, go away. I'm having all kinds of technical issues.
Awesome.
So Claudia's going to see your purple one in Vegas.
She's going to see my purple one in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Claudia. A quick shout out as well to Paul Ramsey, who's got a fantastic YouTube channel which is called The Best Stage Hypnosis Training, which is, he's got a great selection of hypnosis masterminds, stage hypnotists talking on there, a great selection of stuff on there, which is really, really good. So I'd highly recommend that. And I'm only doing that because he interviewed me recently.
I got to tell you though, Paul asks such good questions. He's, this guy, he's a thinker, is what he is. Yeah. He really is. And it kind of blows me away sometimes. I'm like, Paul, you're spending a lot of time thinking. But he does. He thinks about these things a lot. He analyzes things, and in a way that I wouldn't even think to do. So whether you're looking at some of the videos he creates, or just with creating content, or when he's interviewing the stage hypnotists, I mean, just a great stuff from him.
Great energy, great guy as well. He's just recently posted a lot of stuff on the AI, and he's just recently posted about the article. We mentioned it maybe last week or the week before about they're doing a documentary, true crime series on the headmaster who hypnotized the kids in America. And he just posted that yesterday or today, I think it was. So that will be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, love Paul, great guy.
Yeah.
Misty and the Sandman's Stage Hypnosis Bootcamp, that is coming up. There was a link to that there as well. I do like that because it's hands-on training for stage hypnosis. And most importantly, whilst you've got you here, the Hypnosis Success Academy. That looks really great. I keep looking at that as well. I'll be honest, Jim, with a little bit of envy, because I am still putting my course together and it's doing my head in. And so it's I look at it and I'm like, oh, and it inspires me to do it because it looks fantastic. But I know I need to just finish this damn course before it drives me insane.
It's needed. I gotta tell you, man. Even as I'm looking at some of the Amazon groups and stuff, there's people going, "Where do I learn more about this stuff?" So I mean, I know, as you dig in deeper, you do find that the information is there. They don't seem to make it readily available. It seems like you have to go find it. But boy, it would be so nice to be able to just get a course from Grant. He's a pro. And I love what I love about that is that I finally found a platform that I like. There's some kinks to it. It's a little bit weird and kind of a hassle to use sometimes, but it just looks gorgeous and looks magnificent. Love it.
Yeah, cool. For those that are on Amazon, don't forget July I believe it's the 11th and 12th is Amazon Prime Day. So for people that are influencers or therapists or coaches that have products that are on Amazon Live, these are the days where you make the money. I think on average it's 5 times your sales revenue that you'll get just from that one day. So that's 5 times more traffic, 5 times more eyeballs on you and your products, Amazon Prime. So yeah, I know I'll be. I was going to use strong words then, but I remember we are on Amazon Live as well. But I will be working myself quite hard those 2 days. Use your imagination about what I was going to say. But yeah, they're really great days for, again, I know last year, it's great for increasing followers because you've got new eyeballs discovering your stuff as well. So yeah. So pro tip or funny story, Jim?
I'll do a pro tip, of course.
I'll let you go first with the pro tip whilst I think of a funny story.
Okay, so speaking of Paul Ramsey, so I got to tell you, for about the last 6 months, we started Performing Hypnosis Summit back in. We started working on that in like January. Of course, December was full of shows, holiday season. So for about 6 months, I have just been going from event to event, and I keep thinking, once this next thing's done, then I can finally take a breath. But there was no breath. There really wasn't. It was coffee and Diet Pepsi was keeping me going for the last 6 months. And the problem with both those, they both have caffeine, and they're not good for the stomach. And when you have too much of them and a lot of stress, you get inflammation in the stomach. And I will tell you, speaking of Paul Ramsey, Mr. Ramsey, he actually hit me up, and we were chatting, God, I want to say about 4 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. And he goes, "Hey, Jim, you seem like you're doing a lot of stuff right now." He goes, "You're on that podcast and that podcast and that podcast." And yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff and I'm excited. He's like, "Do you think you should?" And I was like, I'll come back later. But for right now, I should listen to Paul, because really that's what did me in. I mean, I was doing way too much. I wasn't taking enough breaks. I wasn't doing all the things that we know we should do when we're busy. I stopped meditating. I stopped exercising, stopped eating right. The last couple of months, it was just go. And I paid the price. And luckily, I had just gotten through the Pacific Northwest Hypnosis Conference and a couple of shows, but I ended up having to cancel a grad night party show, which I hate to do, and because I was in bed, couldn't get up. So I know we want to, as performers, especially, we know if we don't take it now, it's gone for good. But man, your health is so important. Health is so important.
You've got to schedule in that time for rest. People always think that the rest bit is like that. Oh, well, that's the bit you should be grinding, 5 a.m. club and all. You've got to schedule in that rest time, because it's okay to work at 100 miles an hour, but you've got to rest as well, because otherwise your body will rest for you. And that's what
happened to me.
Yeah, exactly.
My body was like, "No, you need to rest," because I was, Grant, from the moment I woke up in the morning, all I could think about was my next task. Instead of, I know that's not the way to live, right? That's not the way you want to live, but that's what I was doing. The moment I woke up, boom, I'm on it. I'm thinking about it until I go to bed at night, and it's just not and taking no rest breaks in between. So I should have listened to Paul Ramsey. That's the
Paul Ramsey. I mean, he is the oracle.
He is the oracle.
Funny story. I mean, the funny stories always turn into a bit of a pro tip, but do you know what? It is a funny story, I think. I was very fortunate this week to perform at a venue called Trelawn Manor in Cornwall. I was going to do a proper post on Facebook about this. And weirdly, I realised I don't post on Facebook enough anymore. I spend most of my time on Instagram these days. But anyway, Trelawn Manor was the venue where I saw my first stage hypnotist when I was 8 years old. My mum was a hypnotherapist, so we as a family, we used to go to this particular park every year, and I remember being there in awe of this guy that did a show. The irony was he had a terrible ab reaction. He sent one of the guys wanted to go to the toilet, so he sent them to the toilet, and the guy never came out. And then his wife got into the toilet, and then she's come out and then stopped the show and was then screaming at the hypnotist. And it was a very dramatic show. I don't know why this inspired me to get into stage hypnosis, but it was great fun. I think the suggestion was something along the lines of, when you go to the toilet, there'll be a 6-foot kangaroo taking a pee at the side of you at the urinal. The bloke had too much to drink, ended up like passed out, vomiting, all sorts of stuff. I remember a few years ago, probably 15 years ago, I remember contacting the venue, sending them a message because I saw them on Facebook, and kind of said, "Oh, I actually saw my first stage hypnotist at your venue, and it inspired me to kind of go on and kind of go into this field," expecting them to be like, "Oh, Grant Saunders, you're amazing," obviously. And I got a message back saying something along the lines of, "Don't message us again." And I thought, that's a bit weird. But stop stalking us. But this week, the agent contacted me a while ago and said, "We want you to book you for this show." And I'm like, absolutely. Like, yes. Again, 7.5-hour drive for me, gets to the venue. And it was lovely to bear the memories that came back. I forgot how beautiful Lou in Cornwall is. The smell hit me. It brought all those childhood memories back. And it was weird to go into the venue because it was the same but different. And it was so weird because it's like, yeah, but this isn't the same venue. And like, the OC should never visit the place where you went on a holiday as a kid. And I kind of get it. What was the crazy golf out front wasn't there anymore. It was like a sand pit. And I'm like, oh, that's just not the same. And I remember starting the show, and at that point, all the members of the other guys' ab reaction just kept coming forward, and it just kept playing on my mind. And I remember getting to the end. I know exactly. I remember getting to the end of the show thinking, "Oh, thank goodness that didn't happen." But then my voodoo monkey slipped and fell towards the end, and I've always very gently lower them down. And one of the guys at the end banged his head, and I'm like, "Oh no, don't!" But no, he was fine. He was fine. It wasn't a bang your head moment. It was just a slight thing. But yeah, for me, it was such a nice moment to go back there, but so weird with all the stuff that was going on as well. And then another 7.5-hour journey back.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
What a thrill, though. And I got to tell you, man, you guys have the coolest sounding venue names. Say that place again?
Trelawn Manor in Old Peril.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Cornwall is probably, I mean, I'm a big fan of Scotland, but Cornwall is a very beautiful part of the UK. It's where everybody wants to go to because it's warm. Cool beans.
Great.
Yeah, fun. That's it for us this week. Next week, I mean, I'll send you some stuff, but I'm thinking of changing the intro logo as well, and putting a bit of effort into that graphic because we've got bigger and better since then, Jim.
We have indeed.
Certainly. So yeah, Claudia says Grant is only 29, so he can do long drives and not get worn out. Absolutely, Claudia.
Exactly.
On.
Yep. When you get to be 33 like me, it's tougher.
Yeah. 33, that's quite an interesting number, is that, Jim?
Is it?
Especially considering where you're going next. But guys, that's it from us this week. If you have any news, any interesting stories, if you've got a talk coming up at any of the conferences, then do let us know. We will happily give you a plug on this show. Wouldn't you agree, Jim?
Or come on the show and plug it yourself too.
Exactly. Yeah, by all means, come on the show and plug yourself. There you go. Guys, take care. See you next week.